Hello everybody, and welcome to a special video here on the channel. Today is our 500 subscriber Q&A. It was a pretty big deal, pretty big milestone to get to 500 subscribers for me, so to celebrate, I asked you, the viewer, if you had any questions, so we're going to jump right into the Q&A. But before I begin, I would like to remind you that if you enjoy the channel, subscribing is a great way to show your support, and I'll probably do another one of these when we reach another milestone. So if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section, and I'll try to answer those in the comment section. But without further ado, let's get to the questions. Okie doke, so the first questions, there's a string of them, comes from Bowball27. He said, how much do you think you spend on drafts? First of all, about $6 per draft, give or take, based on my win rate. I usually go 2-1 in an intermediate league, which makes it about $6. But then I win a little bit more. It's really hard to say. Probably about $6 per draft, though. Just based on win rate. Whereabouts are you from? I'm from California. From Northern California. So, but right now I'm at Georgetown. So, I'm on the East Coast time. What's your vid audio and editing setup? I don't have an editing setup really. I have this app thing called Shotcut that I use sometimes, like when I don't have audio for my videos. Audio, I use the little thing on the headphones for my audio. I'll probably get a better mic eventually, but I'm not sure. Maybe when I'm a bit bigger. But I think this mic's been working pretty well for me, so no need to change it if it ain't broke. My video is literally just the camera on my laptop. I do all my stuff from my laptop. People that say that you need to have a fancy 2 PC setup to stream or do YouTube don't really know what they're saying. You can do it from anything. I made a video on how to set up to stream Magic the Gathering on your laptop, but I should probably update that if people want to see that. But it's not that hard to set it up, and it's like the type of thing where you figure out things as you go along. So there was several things that I figured out how to do, like how to have the chat open on the sidebar, and it's a lot of layering things. But yeah, it's just my laptop pretty much. What's my favorite color? 2-color combo, and 3-color in general, and 4-color. Ooh. I think my favorite color is blue. In Modern, I play Mono Blue Tron. I just love the fact that you have a lot of decisions, and yeah, I don't have anything against the other colors. I just like card draw and counters and draw and kind of the tricksy things of blue, winning super late games, counter spells. It's just a lot of decisions, so I really like blue. 2-color combination is, I feel like I like blue-white, blue-red, blue-black. Blue-green is also a really nice one. Blue-green, my very first deck that I ever had was a blue-green deck that used the graveyard a bit. It was a pre-con deck from Dark Ascension, so yeah, it was Grave Pact was the name of the deck. I think I'm not exactly sure, but I know that the rare in it was Ghoul Tree. So I've always kind of had a soft spot for blue-green, but I like blue-red a lot. I like burn spells, but I also like the controlling pattern. 3 colors, probably Jeskai. I really like Jeskai. I think it's just a super cool color combination. It's got a lot of stuff going for it. And then Grixis is really cool. Teemer's pretty cool. I have a Jund deck for Commander that I really like. Just a lot of value cards. And I also have a Jeskai one. 4-color, every color but white would probably be my favorite 4-color deck. Not that I don't like white, but if you're going 4-color, there's a lot of cool control shenanigans. You can play some ramp cards. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. But yeah, that is Boball's question. Let's go on to the next question. What do you think is the best color as of now in Guilds of Ravnica? Well, several drafts into Guilds of Ravnica. My win rate is not insane, but based on what's been crushing me, I think that blue has some pretty good cards. Yeah, blue has a lot of good cards. Red has a lot going on. It's really hard to talk about Guilds of Ravnica in terms of color, just because you really are playing a guild. I've gotten crushed by Selesnya a lot, though. Selesnya seems pretty good, and then the blue cards, like Watcher in the Mist, seem pretty good. Capture Sphere is decent. So, yeah, I think blue's probably the best. I don't know if it's the best color, but blue's been looking pretty good to me so far. Cadeau. This is a pretty long question. Do you think the strength and popularity of Dimir and Sealed will cause it to be chosen more heavily in draft? If so, what is your draft strategy, knowing that maybe in pack 1, err on the side of non-Dimir, since you will likely get cut in packs 2 and 3? That's a pretty good question, CUI Bates, or NicolaiBolas. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I think that people don't overreact to the power of a deck in sealed as much in draft. I think in sealed you're going to be playing against Dimir a lot, just because Dimir seems really good in sealed. But in draft, I haven't been getting beaten as much by Dimir. I mean, I've played against Dimir several times and it's been pretty good, but I don't think it's like broken in draft. So I think you can just draft whatever seems open. That being said, I think that a lot of people do like Dimir in draft, so don't necessarily always try to I don't know. I think Dimir is good for a reason, and it's pretty deep, so you can sometimes have multiple people in the same deck. So try to just draft your seat. Don't try to get like mind game yourself. So although this is, Connor Havlick has the question, although this is off topic, I started playing MTGA, and I was curious what I should know as a new player, and which of the current sets is the best idea to focus on for collecting cards. I'm doing the M19 core set at the moment. So what this question is like, in MTG Arena, for those that don't know, you buy packs in the store, and those are the cards that you get to add to your collection for the decks to build. I think that Dominaria has a lot of really good cards in it that get used. It's got a cycle of lands that's used and everything. It's got like a bunch of strong creatures like Goblin Chain Whirler. But then in other, like Guilds of Ravnica also has a lot of powerful cards like the Shock Lands, and there's a couple of new build arounds that people have been using. So I think those two are pretty good. Ixalan has like Rekindling Phoenix in it. Maybe that's Rivals of Ixalan. I think Rivals of Ixalan has Rekindling Phoenix. But basically, there's like some strong, like if you want to build a tribal deck, definitely go for the Ixalan ones. But other than that, there's not really a ton Ixalan has that. I think you should focus on Guilds of Ravnica or Dominaria. Those ones both have a lot of strong cards, and then there's just some really good cards you can get from those sets. Like you could open a Teferi if you start opening Dominaria packs. Next question, another one from CY Bates. Another question. If your draft strategy changes when there's only 5 archetypes instead of the usual 10, do you think you keep your options open longer to see what guilds are open? And then there's some math, like 8-person, you'd think average of 3 are being drafted by 2 people each, 2 are drafted by 1 person. This is something that I kind of came to a realization right before I saw this question. Like, I was thinking about it, I was like, why do I always have a worse deck? Because, as I like to say, there's like 3 ways that you can have an advantage in Limited. You can have a better deck, you can play better, or you can get lucky. And all 3 of those are relevant. You have to do all 3 to like win in Limited. You can't just, like, luck is a factor, much as people sometimes like to discount it. But having a good deck is one of the keys, and that's probably why I think my win rate's been a little bit worse so far, is because my decks have been suffering, because he's right, drafting guilds is definitely different. And my new strategy that I have yet to test, but I think is going to work a little bit better, is early on in the draft, just take the best card in the pack every time. It doesn't matter if it's a gold card, doesn't matter if it's a single card, just take the best color card in the pack. And then like 5 packs in, kind of evaluate where you are. Because if you find the open guild, your deck's going to be great. And if you get stuck into a guild that the person to your right is drafting, or the guy to your right is drafting, it's going to end badly for you, and you're going to end up with a weaker deck. So I'd recommend that. I have yet to try it, but stay tuned on the channel because I'm going to be trying it very soon. Final question. What got you into playing Magic? I mean, this is a very fitting question. Basically, I first played Magic the Gathering at my friend's house, and it was really confusing. It was during Kamigawa, where there was like the cards that like flipped upside down, and I had played like Yu-Gi-Oh before, so I was just really confused by this whole thing. I was like, wait, like how everything worked, and I didn't even really know the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh either, because I was pretty young at the time, and so that was the first time I played. But then after that, I didn't play for like years. But that was like the first exposure I had to it. Then me and my little brother, we got starter decks, and my starter deck was much better than my little brother's starter deck, or so it seemed, especially based on how we evaluated cards back then. Like, every card that had self-mill in it was just horrific to us. Like, I had a graveyard-based deck, and I thought Armored Scab, it's a 3-mana 1/4 that mills yourself for 4 when it comes into the battlefield or something. I thought that card was horrific. I was like, oh no, I'm going to mill my good cards every time. It's like the classic strategy. It's like every new player ever goes through that thing. And then, so we played those a little bit. And then my big brother actually started playing draft with some of his friends from high school, and I'm only 2 years behind him. So I started to, I saw that he was playing, he was really enjoying it. And so I was like, maybe I'd be good at this, because I always did like strategy games. So I went to an FNM, had a blast, and then I started just going to all the FNMs. And then I really there was a couple of people that I knew that really knew what they were doing, and they taught me a bunch of fundamentals. Like how to evaluate cards for limited and like which cards are good, like how to draft decks and stuff like that. So that's really what got me into playing Magic. But yeah, anyway, that is going to do it for the Q&A. We had several pretty good questions, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do enjoy the channel, be sure to subscribe. It's a great way to show your support. It really helps me out and keeps me making videos. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.